Welcome everybody to round 15 of Grand Prix Providence. This is the last round before our top 8. We're going to be watching Daniel Brooks on the left, and on the right, Jeremy Dombek. In the booth right now is myself, Ray Punzalan, and Grand Prix Dallas top 8er, Alex Bertuccini.
What's up, guys? All right. And do we know what either of these guys are playing? Or they're X2, right?
I believe these guys are.
Yep.
I hope Nate Price didn't give us a match that doesn't matter.
No, yeah, Jeremy Dombek, they're both X2. Yeah, I just talked with Jeremy before. I think he is playing Reed Duke's rug deck. I think.
His National Order rug?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe that was what he was playing. Oh?
Yeah. I just like
Sure. No, you go. They're just saying the points.
Okay. So
It's a pair down or a pair up.
36-34.
36-34. Who has what though? Yeah, Jeremy Dombek definitely has X2.
Yeah, so Jeremy is at 36.
36. Yep. His opponent is Daniel Brooks.
And yeah, Daniel Brooks is 34.
34. Yep. All right.
So other people are locked in. Reed Duke, Paulo Vitor, James
Rankowitz. Yep.
Brian DeMars, Owen Turnwall, and Wilson Hunter. Those guys are locked in, right?
Are they?
I think so.
I know James and Reed are locked in for sure.
James, Reed,
And
Paulo, probably.
And Paulo, yes.
Okay,
Paulo
James,
are all
Reed,
locked in for sure.
James, Reed, and Paulo are locked in for top 8.
Correct.
Winner of this should be in top 8 without a problem.
Yep, exactly. So it looks like Jeremy Mulligan.
So Dredge is on the left, I think.
Dredge against Natural Order Rug.
I believe it's Natural Order Rug. Don't quote me on that. That's what I thought he said he was playing. He walked over and said.
If that is the matchup, who do you think is favored?
It's pretty tough actually. I mean the Reed Duke's deck's really resilient to it has a lot of different angles to attack from. It has counter magic, it has a fast clock. So I mean it depends on the kind of draws that Dredge gets. As the matchup usually comes down to. It depends on the draws Dredge gets. Like there's some draws where Jeremy will be dead with a Noble Hierarch in play and just be dead. And there's other games where if it drags out, Jeremy can play this sort of controlling game. He's going to 5 though.
I always feel like Dredge is ahead in all the game ones. That almost seems like.
For sure. I don't know Jeremy's sideboard. I don't know if he has 10 graveyard hate spells. Who knows? But I mean, it's just the more graveyard hate, the better, because decks like this can put a clock on your opponent, and Dredge can beat a Tormod script, but it can't beat a Tormod script and 2 Tarmogoyfs. It can't beat a clock like that. It has.
Mental missteps also.
Yeah, very good against Dredge. I mean, again, every deck in the format that plays Mental Misstep is up a percentage on Dredge just because it has that card in it.
Able to stop the early discard outlet.
Yep. You just had to force the will, the Future Imp, but now you can have the Mental Misstep for it, which is just an additional way to counter it. I saw a lot of the smarter Dredge players that would keep on if they keep on 7, they usually just do not play their turn 1 Dredge outlet. They just go straight to their discard step and discard because they don't want to get misstepped. Like he might not know his opponent's playing blue.
Alright.
Or mold to 5, I guess you can go for it because the chance of having missed it. Yep.
Wow, and Putrid Imp resolves.
I mean, Jeremy's on 5 cards. One of them had to be a misstep or a force.
I feel like at this point of the tournament too, you probably have friends who know what your opponents will be playing.
Yep. So it looks like he is playing the rug deck. Then I saw Noble Hierarch in his first hand, and here's a Lightning Bolt. So yeah.
So discard Stinkweed Imp.
Bridge from below. Get a 2/2 zombie out of that. Sure.
And bridge triggers.
But yes, the Lightning Bolt certainly the right play there still, nonetheless.
Now Jeremy just really has to hope that this Dredge doesn't do too much.
Yep, as most people do.
Daniel has a breakthrough in his hand, I believe.
Oh no.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cabal Therapy and Narcomoeba.
2 Careful Studies and a Tireless Tribe. Okay. So it looks like he's playing the Dredge list with the multicolor one. There's some that are just the black-blue version, and there's others that have additional discard outlets like Tireless Tribe and add a different color to it.
Cabal Therapy.
Get to rip his hand apart there.
Probably name Force of Will.
I don't believe you name Force of Will here because he probably doesn't have a force because he would have forced that Future Imp. You don't name Mental Misstep because he doesn't have it.
So what are you naming here? Is it even worth to do it?
Is there somebody that could tell us what he named?
Rusty, could you ask him what he named?
Stoneforge Mystic. Okay. Yeah. See, I mean, it doesn't really do that much right here, but I mean, someone could get a race going. You know what I mean? Like, and again, just from like turn 1 land lightning bolt, like he might not know that there's no like if there's mystics or not in the deck at all, which there aren't. But
There's a careful study in Daniel Brooks' hand as well. So he'll careful study.
yep, sees the coast is clear. He's not going to bother with those natural orders right now.
Draw 2.
Yeah,
2 gemstone mines off that, so he's going to discard.
gemstone mine and the sinkweed imp.
Daniel will
And
probably.
does he have a break? He said he has a breakthrough in his hand.
I believe I saw a breakthrough.
Well, that's fine then. It makes.
Breakthrough.
Huh?
Breakthrough for 0.
There's breakthrough.
Yep, there you have it for 0. So you'll be hell bent after this.
1, 2.
And he hits
There's a grave troll. Yep.
2 breakthrough.
Oh,
All right. This
no.
game could be over right here.
Yeah. Oh man.
4, 5.
And a
there's
third
return,
grave
and
troll.
There's another grave troll.
Remember, there's still a Narcomoeba on the stack waiting to resolve.
Yeah.
1,
2, 3.
Bridge from below. Yeah, 4 grave trolls.
all the grave trolls,
3
and another
bridges.
grave.
Oh my goodness.
And we
Jeremy can say that he used up all his bad luck and all of his other opponents' good luck in this game. Another narc. Okay, this
Another
game
bridge from below.
cannot be going. Yeah, this game is probably over.
There's no flame concealment or anything, so he's not totally dead. But
No. I
Jeremy
don't.
also doesn't have an out. To
I don't think there's an out in the format to this. I mean, land pyroclasm, maybe.
Yeah, barely.
Barely.
He could just dredge return a giant Golgari troll too.
Yeah. Yep. This is true.
For lots of tokens.
Golgar Grave Trolls used to be the real only green creature in Legacy that regenerated,
Yeah.
so that you could play Perish and Nature's Ruin. But now that people are playing Throne the Last Troll, you can't even play Nature's Ruin anymore because you have to
Yeah.
play Perish. So it's a tip out there for you guys with the Legacy sideboards.
Sacrifice. Dredge
Speaking of
return?
trolls.
Oh, wow.
And people were playing Nature's Ruin mainly for style points because it's harder to get card too.
Yeah. Well, we're playing it around Cabal Therapy and Meddling Mage
Yeah.
and the style points. It's worth like $10. You know,
Yeah.
you gotta play it.
And that's Dredge.
Yeah.
Oh, and Jeremy just packs it in.
Yeah. There's
Yeah, it's
All right. While we wait for game 2, we could.
Don't
well,
go through the
Jeremy
works.
could go ahead and blame Kibler for his opponent's really good draws. GamingCenter.com always reminds you to blame Kibler. They have all their monster binders, blame Kibler T-shirts, and of course all their magic accessories. You can go on Facebook. Join the if you want to blame Kibler yourself. You go on Facebook. We have this tinyurl.com/blame-Kibler link that will direct you to the Facebook page, and you blame Kibler as well. Always save 10% off by using the GG's Live code, and that will apply to all of your purchases there.
when you feel like blaming luck or blaming the magic gods, you can just blame Kibler
Yeah,
instead.
it's a lot
So, I mean,
easier to
it's
blame
just a
Kibler.
scapegoat there, you know? Moto Shuffler, no, blame Kibler.
So what did generally Dredge bring in? Because don't you just bring in stuff blind regardless if you think your opponent has hate or not?
Well, so he sees his opponent's deck. He's mold of 5. The Cabal Therapy saw a Volcanic Island, a Lightning Bolt, 2 Natural Orders, and a Ponder.
All right.
So I don't know how well informed Daniel Brooks is on this format. Like, if you see those kind of cards, like the only deck with Lightning Bolt in it and Volcanic Island, for like the most part, would be like the Rug deck.
Yeah.
And with Natural Order, of course. So I feel like if he knows he's boarding in against that, he has to. It's more about how he plays the game. Like, if he wants to play into Mental Misstep, like I said, like this game is fine because he's opponent mold to 5,
Yeah.
and he had a good enough hand that even if he got his thing countered, it would have been fine.
Yeah,
He did careful study anyway. Yeah.
Breakthrough.
Exactly. But if he has an opening hand that can't play around Mental Misstep, he might just choose to wait to draw his 8th card, discard, and then start dredging that way and play around counter magic the entire game. And in that case, if Jeremy doesn't have a clock and Daniel Brooks has enough time to play around counter magic, he can just, there's nothing Jeremy can do about it. There's no, he can't. If you can't counter his spells, like he just plays around it that way, there's nothing you can do about it. I don't know what Jeremy's sideboard is. I don't know if he has Surgical Extraction or Tormod Script. It all depends.
There's people who just say, all right, I'm not going to play Dredge.
Yeah, and again, I also don't know what Daniel Brooks has. Like, I mean, I've seen some crazy things in Dredge sideboards, everything from Thoughtseize to Stifle for, like, abilities.
That's Flash Fires?
I'm sorry?
That card on top of the red card on Daniel's hand.
That's Firestorm.
Oh, Firestorm. Okay.
Firestorm. See, I don't know how that card, I don't think that card should be brought in.
He also had Dark Blast,
Yeah.
-1/-1 Dredge card.
Yep.
I saw that.
Dark Blast is fine. I mean, Firestorm is very scary because if you don't have a Cabal Therapy to back it up, you can go all in on it and get a Mental Misstep. It does cost 1 mana, and
What do you think about Probe and Dredge? Is it even worth
Probe?
it? Yeah, the new Probe.
Gataxian Probe. Okay.
Gataxian Probe.
I haven't done any testing with it. I've heard some people say good and bad things about it. Peak information is always good, but sometimes in awkward draws, it can be an awkward draw. It could be just a card that doesn't necessarily further Dredge when it doesn't have an optimal draw. When you have a sick draw, it's obviously insane. But when you're Dredge mulligans a lot, and you don't want to keep these awkward hands with Gataxian Probe just to get the information. Like it's literally just a Street Wraith at the end of the day. It's not much better than Street Wraith, in my opinion. You can see your opponent's hand, you see what they have, makes your Cabal Therapy a little better, but... And again, I've seen both ways. I personally would have to, like, if I were ever to play Dredge, I would really want to test that card out.
He took out all his breakthroughs.
Took his breakthroughs out? Okay.
And a couple careful studies.
See, like, he might be playing the game to play around counterspells, to just... There's no way Jeremy can board out his counterspells. You can't board out your counterspells against Dredge. He needs those, but... I mean, now if Daniel's playing less cards that get, oh, you have a Breakthrough Force Will, Breakthrough on 1, just misstep it. On 0, misstep it, like... It's very difficult. Again, it all depends on what is in Jeremy's board, and based on this game, if Daniel Brooks sees any particular graveyard hate in general, he'll bring in different things. So if he sees Tormod's Crypt or Relic of Progenitus, he might bring something different than if he sees, Extirpate and Surgical Extraction,
Yeah, that's true.
So.
It depends on what he sees. I didn't even recognize what was in Daniel's board. There was like some white bordered red card that I couldn't tell what it was.
I didn't see it, no. But again, like I said, the multicolor version of Dredge allows you to play cards like Firestorm and different, any card you want, pretty much, that costs 1 or 2 mana, Things like Nature's Claim, if that's necessary.
It seems like the multicolor version is pretty strong. You don't need...
It is.
You can just play all those lands that don't bother you too much.
Yep. I mean, I've certainly heard merits for both versions. Some people argue that blue and black has enough tools, and it does. I'll be interested to see at the end of the year which version has done better.
You see that card right behind Breakthrough? Oh, right there, that card. It's a white bordered. I can't tell by that picture. Right behind Breakthrough. And you play a lot of Legacy. It makes me feel good. I don't know it, and you play a lot more Legacy than I
I really want to know what that card is. Look at the picture of it.
It kind of looks like a Jockelhops, but obviously it's not.
Like it looks like Tsunami almost. What is it? It's red?
Yeah, it looks.
Red? It doesn't even. I can't even tell what color it is. Winds of Change. Do we have a lookup system? To look up what the card is?
You can just open another tab or something.
Oh, okay.
Try to figure out what that card was in the board.
I'll give you guys 3 little towels. Thank you.
Okay, Rusty. The ticker isn't ticking.
That is what it was. I believe it was Winds of Change. Okay, so it does look like the picture for it. Does that look like it to you?
Yeah,
it looks like Jocko. That's it. Yeah. All right. So Winds of Change, for those of you who don't know, including myself, is 1 red mana for a sorcery. All players shuffle their hands into their libraries and draw cards equal to the number they originally had. Is what the card says. So basically, it's sort of like a Tolarian Winds. Is that what the card was?
Yeah, cheap Tolarian Winds.
Yeah. And see, I don't know enough about Dredge really to know what that would be in here for or what that's particularly preparing against, but looks like the card that he chose not to sideboard in.
It's a card I can't. Have you ever seen that before?
I've seen the card before. I didn't know Dredge decks had resorted to that. I don't know. All players shuffle. It shuffles their hands into their libraries. It's almost like a serum powder, almost like it's like a mulligan thing almost.
Yeah.
It doesn't discard. It's not like Burning Inquiry or Tolarian
Burning
Winds.
Inquiry would make almost a little more sense, but I guess.
But because that discards it. But this just shuffles you into a new hand, I guess. You can randomly get you your opponent, give him a mulligan, all right, mulligan you.
That's kind of cool, yeah.
It's interesting. Certainly not something you see every day of a Dredge deck.
That's 6 cards. Did we miss a mulligan?
Yeah. He mulliganed. Dredge mulligan.
There's Firestorm, Dark Blast,
Cabal Therapy, Gemstone Mine, Fire. All right, so.
It seems like a reasonable hand.
Yeah, seems fine.
No one gets to use the internet on this computer.
Ray told me to look at the card.
Okay, you can. But you closed out a browser.
No, I
That
didn't.
needed to be open. Yeah, there was a tab open. Okay.
I press Control T. Edit Control T.
Right, so volcanic islands first for Jeremy.
Mm-hmm. So here we have a gemstone mine and a pass.
He has careful study in hand, but
Jeremy opts for end of turn brainstorm, drawing fetch land,
Tarmogoyf.
Tarmogoyf natural order. So let's see. Uses a fetch land. Probably getting a tropical island. Yep.
does he play the Tarmogoyf here?
Yep. I didn't see the rest of his hand, but he does have a Tarmogoyf in it, so gotta start that clock somehow.
Now, do you just Dark Blast this to Dark Blast it to get the Dredger in the graveyard?
I mean, depends on his hand. Yeah, you might
Okay.
just do that.
Oh, there's Firestorm too.
If his hand is like fodder, like Cabal therapies and stuff like that, he could. He can't Firestorm. You need exact legal targets, I believe. You need 3 targets, so he would target himself, the Goyf, and the guy, and Jeremy for 3. So he could do it for 3. 3 targets. That's actually a reasonable play, for sure. It's a very reasonable play.
Daniel deciding what cards are going to go to Firestorm, it looks
Yeah.
like.
3 to himself, 3 to Jeremy, and 3 to that Tarmogoyf.
Oh, well, Tarmogoyf becomes a 4 toughness.
All cast cards.
Well, I hope he
Sorcery.
considers that.
S equals 2.
Yeah, he can't discard creatures, he has to discard...
Instant, sorcery, land.
Oh, so he's just not trying
Yeah.
to... He's not trying to kill the Goyf.
Yeah, he
just
doesn't
wants to-
care.
He's just using it as a discard outlet. Okay, fair enough. That is more than fine play, I believe.
Gets mental
Yeah.
misstep.
Which is... doesn't...
This
Why
is-
would he mental misstep that?
The cards are still discarded, and he still takes 2 damage, and Goyf still lives like it was.
Why would he mental misstep that? I don't understand. That's like the... That's like a dream for...
It got even better because he
Brooks.
did 2 damage, got Jeremy to discard a card.
So it actually helped him because Daniel did not take 2 damage.
All Dredge.
Oh yeah, that's right.
It actually helped him because Daniel would have taken 2 damage this way, and instead Jeremy chose to discard a card, lose the same 2 life.
Wow.
Unfamiliarity with cards, it must be. I mean, maybe he thought it wasn't as an additional cost. I don't know.
Well, no, he wasn't taking 2 damage. I'm sure he targeted Tarmogoyf and Jeremy, right?
Oh, okay,
It
yeah.
was only 2, yeah.
it was only 2. It wasn't 3. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right.
Oh, Cabal Therapy.
Cabal Therapy.
Now, if it resolves, you don't name mental misstep. Here's the game. Here's the game you play. If it resolves, you name mental misstep or not because like.
Oh, should have named. I know what he should have named. I know what he should have named.
This was a tough one.
He named Brainstorm, but he should have named Vandalia. Click.
Sweet. This hand
There are
not
so
looking
many
too
fairies
strong.
in his hand. There's a swarm of fairies in his hand.
doesn't look too strong right now.
Oh my goodness, a
Coliseum?
Cephalid Coliseum. That is
For
not.
careful study.
I'm at 19 years.
Cephalid Coliseum threatens to end the game next turn, barring some really unlucky dredging right now.
So here's a thug. 1, 2,
Icarid,
3.
City of Brass.
Oh, and a troll
Yeah,
out of
this
there.
is
Perfect for
not what Jeremy wants to see right now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep.
Alright, so and discard 2 cards. It's gonna be the thug and the imp. I mean not the troll and the imp.
Yep. And he has the Cephalid Coliseum next turn. It's not looking good. I can't even imagine what Jeremy would draw. If he must have to have like a raw dog graveyard hate spell here. He drew a Spell Pierce.
So he can't even click himself. He can't. He just attacks with Tarmogoyf and cross your fingers.
Yeah.
That's basically at the point he's
a
at.
big Tarmogoyf at that,
I'll
but
take 5 over 14.
this is going to be really... I cannot imagine what Dredge would have to dredge into here to not win right now.
Here's an Icarid.
Yep.
It's gonna remove
Step
something.
1. Here's that Petridimp.
Then we're gonna Dredge Golgari Troll.
Yeah, we have two Bridge from Belows in the graveyard.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
There's a Dredge return.
There's a Dredge return now. With a couple stink with him, so this Coliseum will be.
This Coliseum will be devastating.
Pretty good right here.
Yeah.
If Daniel just misses, though, he has no lands.
He's gonna get the perfect information with this Cabal Therapy to show that he can go off without any worries. He's probably gonna name Force of Will here, is my guess. Force of Will, just that's all that stops him. He's gonna go Cabal Therapy. He's gonna.
Spell Pierce.
So now he's not gonna pay for this because now he still has full inflammation.
Yeah,
Because that was the card he drew. So yep. Cabal Therapy did its job.
He just has to hope that Jeremy just has to hope Daniel's like, all right, pay for it.
Yeah, I mean that's what you gotta do for Jeremy. Yeah, of course. But
I'll sacrifice.
All right.
this Coliseum is gonna get activated, I'm sure. Yep.
So Dredge 3. We're gonna start off probably.
Dredge around 15 plus.
I like Daniel. I feel like he's really trying to help the viewers out there.
Yeah. He's like, look guys, look at my graveyard.
He's gonna take a.
Look how much I've grown.
There's a stinkweed imps. I like how it changes. At one point, no one wants to watch Dredge because it's always around. But I haven't seen Dredge in a while, so seeing Dredge in.
If you ever watched Enchantress play out, you won't get tired of Dredge for long. That's Elish Norn. Grand Cenobite.
6. All right.
Yep, that's it.
Jeremy's like, all right, forget this.
Wow.
I'm going home.
There you have it. So.
That was a quick
Daniel
match for
Brooks.
Daniel.
I mean, I'm sure most of his matches on the weekend have been
So that
pretty
should
quick.
lock him up for the top 8.